Something else that I've always got handy is a hairdryer. I'm just drying this top coat right off, making sure that all of the thinner I've got on there evaporates now. Okay, so that's a quick blast with a hairdryer just to dry the paint off. And what I'm noticing as I'm painting this is I've picked up a few little bits of dust and flint and stuff in the blue paint. Not going to worry about that. I'll simply buff that or micro mesh that out at some point during the painting process. I'd rather do that than try and remove such things from a wet coat of paint, which is really just asking for trouble. So small areas of lint and stuff in your paint, leave it. Deal with it when the coat's dry. Right guys, just so you know, while I was painting this, I did find that a couple of the patches of black, which are actually the black filler I use, I hadn't covered initially with the blue before going to the light misting coats, and the light misting coats really weren't having much effect on it. So what I've done is, the joy of owning two airbrushes, I simply unplugged the main airbrush, plugged my HPC in, and sprayed some neat blue onto those areas. It literally took 90 seconds to do that, gave me the coverage I needed, so now I can carry on misting. So again, I've done that, so I've cleaned that airbrush out, put it back on its rack, switched back to the main airbrush that I'm using for this job, check that flow's still good, and we're good to go again. So it doesn't always go exactly to plan. You've got to be flexible and be prepared to sort of adjust what's going on. Obviously not a reason to own two airbrushes exactly, but it in this instance it helped no end for my needs. Right, that's me out of paint for that that session. I could mix some more up, but instead at this point I'm going to leave it and just see how this looks. Okay, let's give my airbrush a quick clean out. Okay, one of the reasons that I don't really like acrylics that much, especially Gunz acrylics, which is exactly what I've used here, is that they can remain quite soft even after extended drying times. So what I want to do is protect this finish now before I move on to any of the other colours. So Johnson's Clear is the weapon of choice here. Okay, so I'm just going to put a couple of coats of Johnson's Clear over this model. Okay, just to protect the finish. Johnson's Clear dries very hard, very tough, and hopefully it will help protect the finish from any rigours to come. It also starts off the glossing process that you need to do prior to putting decals on a model, obviously. This is a very, very quick and easy process. Spray it on so it goes on wet. It will start to dry out in a very, very few minutes. It also gives you a better idea of how the finished pre-shading is going to look. And I have to admit, at the moment, I'm actually quite pleased with how it's starting to look. So So there you go, there's one coat of clear added to the underside. Just give it a quick blow over with just air just to start the drying process. Okay, let's start the drying process off. Check how much clear I've got in there. Still got enough for another coat, so what I'm going to do is quickly whip another quick coat over there. And there you go. Okay, so there's the base coat on the underside dealt with. What I'm going to do is let that dry for a while, and then we'll come back. We'll do some post shading, some more blending to that blue before moving on to masking off for the topside camouflage. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned. There'll be more along in due course.